All right, happy Friday night, everybody. Yep, that's right. We're still here. It's the year of still being here in Red River. We're live again from Bull of the Woods in, I guess, downtown Red River as the snow gently wafting in from the sky, but the roads are clearing up, and we intend to be back in the Hubaplex sometime tomorrow, or at least outside the Hubaplex sometime tomorrow. It's the Friday night show live from Bull of the Woods in the mobile Arctic Air studios. The air here is Arctic. If your home ever feels like the air here, you need to call the Bear. Callthebear.com. All the communication tonight brought to you by United Supermarkets and Market Street. Whether you are on YouTube tonight, whether you are on Facebook Live or on Twitter X, we want to hear from you. So chime in, let us know the audio is good, the video is good. And I'll say again for the Twitter people, we've had some rough connections up here, as you can imagine, over the last couple of days. That's why we say subscribe to all the platforms. That way, if you're having a tough go on one, you can go to the other. So check that out. Do that tonight as we're here in Red River at Bull of the Woods. It's Friday night prediction show. Tell us what you think Texas Tech and Colorado are going to do tonight. Tonight, tell us the score. Tell us what you think it's going to do tomorrow. Most Texan thing you have done this week, I guess it's just hang out in New Mexico for a week and extended play and just be as Texan as we can for us. And then the Fox Noon, Big Noon Kickoff show, whatever they call it. Big Kickoff Noon Show or Noon Show Kickoff Noon Show. How big an impact is that for Lubbock and Tech that it's here? That, they only go to a handful of cities every year. How big is that? We talk about game day for ESPN and, college basketball as well. How big do you think it is? You tell us tonight. Oh, and Tech basketball, Northwestern State, I believe they tip off at 8 Central Time. So they'll be done before we get off the program with you tonight. So we want to hear from you. Get your questions, comments in. We'll hang out as long as the conversation is good tonight. We appreciate everybody here at Bull of the Woods letting us hang out again for another night. And think of all of our great sponsors like Lifts West Hotel and Condominium right here in Red River. Been great to us during the week. So in 3, in 2, good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. You start your day there. You could have weighed in our comment section on the hot links we've got every day. And, of course, the question of the day. Today, the most Texan thing you have done this week. Every Friday we do that. You ought to know that by now. So here you go. Hat tip to you. Cheers to us and cheers to McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Raiderland. Remember, if your back's out of whack, don't call a quack. Call Kevin Mack. Good evening. My lighting crew is so substandard. We've got cues scheduled for the whole program and when stuff is supposed to come on and, when it's going to happen and everything. I just missed it by that much. Good help, so hard to find. But Kevin McAlpin, my own family members have used Kevin McAlpin. If you're looking for a chiropractor and you think that might help, tell him Raiderland sent you. He's just good old West Texas people. Alan, one of the first ones getting in tonight on the YouTube channel. That's Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube, giving the score predictions. And I really also, not just the score predictions tonight, give me the game script that you think is better for Texas Tech to get a win. And when we say game script, we mean literally how you would script out the game. Low scoring, high scoring game, a game that reminds you of, the Cincinnati game or the Arizona. You tell me what you think Tech has to do that gets you a win. So Allen going with the first score tonight of 42-31 Colorado. And let's see. And again, this is probably connection related, but it looks like we're getting your comments, but it just says Facebook user, which is a great name. So if you guys want to throw in your name when you comment, might be good too. So it just says Facebook user on our page right here. The light is better. I like the subtle red lighting. I was kind of enjoying that. It's kind of bright. Oh, well. Facebook user, if that's your real name, the talking box is indeed on. So jump in tonight. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow for Texas Tech and Colorado? I've been so busy looking at the weather, just trying to find a road that is open to get out of here. I really haven't paid attention to see if it's going to continue to have a potential for rain tomorrow at Jones Stadium in the afternoon or not. So, I really hadn't even factored that in at this point to see if that'll play a role. If it does rain, I don't know who that helps or hurts really. Wind is a much bigger factor in the configuration of the stadium now. The wind doesn't really affect you down there on the turf. It's just not going to be that big a deal. Now, rain, there you go. I don't know. We'll see. So, Alan jumping back in. Game script time. The game script follows the Iowa State game plan. Force turnovers and grind out a win with a healthy mix of RPO. I don't think Tech will stick to the plan, he says. Facebook user, it shows my name. You guys may see it on your feed, in the broadcast feed that's going out. On my feed, it's not showing. But Craig says the talking box is on as he comes up on my feed as Facebook user. We love technology. You guys are figuring it out. I agree with Alan to the extent that rain, shine, or otherwise, the game script is Taj Brooks. The game script is run the football, RTDB, run the damn ball. Run it a lot, punch them hard with it. Don't get away from it like you did there at Iowa State. Don't get away from it. Just keep running it. And you'll find your play action, and you'll find the tight ends in that. And you'll continue to find Kelly. Zach Kittley, a man who just today had his signature in the play call from the Iowa State game tattooed on the ass of a Texas Tech fan. True story. Zach Kittley has too many tools in the toolbox sometimes. Yet still, the best offense in the Big 12. The most effective offense in the Big 12, Texas Tech. Yet maddening at times. Isn't that wonderful that you can have one of the best offenses in the country and in the Big 12, and you still just gnash your teeth sometimes with it? He's got to laugh. Kittley's got to laugh about the criticism and everything else. It's like, what more do you want me to do? Run the ball. That's what I want you to do. Run that clock. Limit the opportunities of Shedeur Sanders in an offense that features so much speed, it's ridiculous. And we focus on Colorado with the offense. It's the defense that has improved. It's the defense that has gotten much better as the year has gone on. Lance on Twitter X wearing the Savannah Bananas jersey. One word, defense. Into that game script, you've got to look a whole lot more like you did against TCU for the most part in Iowa State. Don't fall into the trap of trying to drop 8. I say bring the house. Pressure. Colorado, Shedeur Sanders gets sacked. Colorado gives up sacks. If you can't hurry him, you got to build a fence around him. Again, this is like trying to pressure Patrick Mahomes in a way that Shedeur Sanders does a great job of extending the play, getting to the second play. You can't rush past him, he'll run right by you. You can't lose control of the pocket, he'll escape. Well, then how do you rush him? You got to come up the middle, but you can't lose control on the outside, right? So we got to set the edge, and we got to push that pocket right up into his face. You're going to have to blitz, I think. A-gap. I want to see a lot of A-gap pressure, and I want to force that center to make choices, and I want to force those guards to make choices, and then we're just going to set the edge on the outside. I want the pressure to come from the A and the B gap. Facebook user with no name. See, you guys can see their names. I can't. Just comes up as Facebook user. 24-21 Tech. Tech wins as the defense and special teams play well. Need no missed tackles. Wendy Plowman Green coming in there on the Facebook. Hi there, Wendy. Glad you're with us today. You guys, don't forget, you can tell us the most Texan thing you have done this week. Big Texan thing, little Texan thing, whatever that may be. And we have the Big Noon Kickoff show in town. How big a deal is that? I think it's a big deal. There are smarter people than I who can quantify that economically. I think it's a fairly big deal. They only go to what, like 13 cities? You're one of them. Catfish special tonight, by the way, at Bull of the Woods. Fried catfish. I saw one of the platters. I don't know where they're getting their catfish, but it's a big-ass catfish. Lance, I can verify the Kittley tattoo from his brother. We've seen the photographic evidence, thanks to David Collier, KMAC 28, Red Raider Nation. Lauren Motter, a cheeky affair, as she said on Twitter. Nicely done, Lauren. Robert going with Tech, 33-31. You give us your game script, how you think it's got to play out. What do you think has to happen for Texas Tech to get the win? There's one thing you say, you got to do this. Then you say, are you good enough to do this? It's like when it comes to your rights a little bit. I can assert that I have a certain right. I can assert that I can do this. Then you have to exert, E-X-E-R-T. Asserting is easy. Exerting is hard. Ask offensive linemen. Jacob's view on our Facebook people are great. Facebook is growing. We've had a great week on the Facebook channel. Subscribe to it. Watch wherever you want to watch. But everybody on Facebook and on Twitter X, subscribe to the YouTube channel too. Or you can throw to open the run. Question mark. No. Question mark. If identity is run game, don't run bread and butter to set up the pass secondary attack. Yes, blitz, not much run game to consider for Colorado. I'm willing to get hurt and burned on a blitz a couple of times in this game. You know, it's going to take probably minimum 28, 30 points to win it. I'm okay getting burned. Damon is on Facebook. You may not get back home until April. We have been applying for work while we've been up here the last 2 days. We got a good lead on a couple of jobs and everything. Ski season starting in 2 weeks. Call Billy Hurst there at Lifts West. Book your ski packages there with Lifts West. So I mean, we're okay. The clean clothing supply is an issue. Not gonna lie, that is becoming a bit of an issue. So yeah, we need to get back tomorrow. Alan on Twitter. What's the other one? YouTube. Yeah. Big Noon Kickoff actually likes the places they go to and talks up the places. They do a better show than ESPN. And I'm going to take your word for this. And I sit here and say this is a big deal. It is a big deal. I don't watch those shows typically. I typically don't watch, ESPN Game Day. I typically don't watch the Fox show. I might watch a little bit of it, but I'm usually busy. So I'm not a great one to ask a question about, even what they – I couldn't even tell you probably like who's on it for the most part. Is Clay Travis coming to town? That's all I care about. Got a guy out there shoveling snow, trying to get that walkway here to Bull of the Woods regulation, and he's making it happen. It's impressive to watch. Facebook user at Hall of Fame, Hall of Honor banquet, then going to the basketball game. Cool. Just saw a picture. Don Williams on Twitter tweeted out a picture. Always a good deal. Friend of mine who's a pilot, he brought in Danny Amendola today. So you got that going for you. I guess somebody's going to have to answer this question for me. Is Dancing with the Stars over, and how did Danny Amendola do? I don't know. Craig, I'm going to pass on the catfish and get the fried chicken. And there is fried chicken on the menu tonight. Fried chicken, good anytime. Jacob, I usually defer to VSiN Tailgate. VSiN, obviously, fantastic pregame Saturday morning show, Sunday morning shows, and good information that you just don't get anywhere else. Big fan of what they do. We pay attention to it. So we got you guys until what, 7 o'clock your time, 6 o'clock our time, as long as the conversation is good. Your questions, your comments, your thoughts. It's Friday. You tell us the most Texan thing you have done this week, big or small. You give us your game script. How does Texas Tech beat Colorado? What does Texas Tech have to do to beat the Buffaloes? You give us your score prediction. I'll give you mine before we get out of here. What else did we say? Yeah, the Big Noon Kickoff impact. Tech men's basketball. I didn't get a chance to watch the game the other night. Obviously, Hawkins and a couple of other guys were held out for physical reasons. I don't know if they're going to be back tonight or not. And I'm not concerned, but nobody seems to be too concerned about them not playing in the first game. We'll see what it looks like tonight. I did like the fact that JT Toppin came in, got really good minutes, transferred to Mexico, and rebounded and was physically dominant from the people I talked to. I said, did he look like the kind of guy that he's advertised as? I say, yeah. He looked like a Big 12 basketball player beating up on some inferior competition. Sign me up for some of that. So basketball in action. Lady Raiders won last night. They're 2-0. You can tell Krista Gerlich was like, man, these are some ugly preseason games, but you do what you got to do. Damon, no. Clay Travis. No Clay Travis, or no Clay Travis. Going to the 20th anniversary homecoming of his law school at Vanderbilt. That could be interesting, I guess. Isn't he sometimes on the Fox pregame show? Or am I dreaming that? I thought he was sometimes on. Man, if he came to Lubbock, he'd bring a $10 bill and a clean shirt. You won't have to change either one. He would have quite the time. I'm glad you guys are with us. I think you can still invite people in and share and tell people we're talking little tech football. We're talking about hanging out in the mountains. The ski season is going to open Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and they will have snow, and they're going to be ready to go. They have been making snow like crazy this week, and the runs are completely white. Now that doesn't mean they're all operational, but they're completely covered in snow. Probably 2 to 3 feet at the upper elevations around here, the upper valley. If you know this area around Red River, got about 3 feet dumped on them in town. I'm saying conservatively 1.5 feet through the last several days. And yeah, it's going to warm up a little bit. You're going to lose some here in the next few days, but it's setting up nicely for a really good start. This is a great base that they're going to have. So if you're looking for somewhere to go for Thanksgiving, you hadn't made any plans, they're going to be ready for you at Lifts West and all of our great sponsors out here. So that's why, we probably go skiing today. We could have gone skiing down Main Street today. Get behind a horse. Alan Clay needs to recover from helping save America. Amen. Craig, sounds like God is making plenty of snow himself. He is. He is. 100%. And it's just beautiful. I can't lie, guys. I mean, oh, darn, throw me in the briar patch. Make me be stuck in Red River, New Mexico for 2 days. If we just weren't out of clothing. You got to get home, though. The animals. We got animals. Damon, correct about Clay Travis being on the Big Noon Kickoff. Just wasn't always at the side of the Big Noon Kickoff. All right. Makes sense. I understand that now. So most Texan thing, your Tech Colorado game predictions, score predictions. What do you think is going to happen? How do you think it's going to play out? I pretty much told you what I think needs to happen offensively and defensively. Generate pressure, but contain the quarterback. Oh, that's easy. But you're going to have to do it. You will have to pick your spots. And I do think the best way to pressure is up the middle while containing on the edge. Overwhelm the center. They've got so much speed, though. This Texas Tech defense, if you put them in man too many times, you're probably going to get burned. You're going to have to score some points against a defense now that's given up on average 22 points a game in Colorado. Everybody thinks about Shedeur Sanders, and they think about the flash and dash, and they think about a Colorado defense that was bad last year. The defense is better. My gut tells me that the best way for Texas Tech to win this game is to just turn it into a frustrating day for Colorado. Limit their possessions. Play slow. A lot of run game. A lot of tight ends. Take your chances when you can. Pop them downfield with the play action. Get them when you can, but no tempo. Bleed that clock down every snap. You snap it with more than 5 seconds on the clock at any given time, that's a demerit. You're going to be doing up downs for me. Every play snapped under 5 seconds on the play clock. You've got to frustrate them. And then you've got to have the best game probably of the year in the secondary. Can they do it? I don't think so. Colorado 34-27. I think Texas Tech will find their points. I just don't think this defense right now has still convinced me, even after a trip to wet Ames, Iowa, on the slick grass of Ames, Iowa, near the world's greatest pedestrian bridge. Forgive me, I'm not yet a believer that they're going to be able and keep Colorado from scoring the amount of points that I think they can. And I think people are sleeping on the Colorado defense. I welcome to be wrong. I hope I am wrong. I hope somewhere tomorrow I am on the road keeping up with this game, and I'm going, boy, that was a bad pick. Now, if Texas Tech does win it, the score is going to be 28-24, or 27-24, 30-27. right in through there. The official pick, though, is Colorado 34-27. A wink on Twitter. Tech in double overtime. If it lasts long enough, maybe we'll get home to see the end. Nah, that's not going to happen. Robert, most Texan thing I've done is put up with this cold. Welcome to, do you have a cold or is it cold? If you're in the panhandle, you're cold. You know, they just got the roads open up there by Tex Line and Dalhart today. Jacobs View Tech needs to figure out the game quickly, control clock, or outscore them. Tech wins 38-31. Craig off of Facebook, I bet Norman and Joyce aren't letting your babies go hungry. No, I think the dogs are doing pretty well, Craig. Cats, nobody knows. Has anyone seen the cats? Do we know the cats are still there? Cats are still there? Okay. The cats probably don't even know we're gone. We'll get back there like, did y'all go out? Did you enjoy supper? Okay. Dogs be like, we didn't think you were ever coming back. We're going to stay over here forever and live here forever. We figured we were adopted now. We're not coming back to the house. We're going to stay with them. Making sure that we haven't skipped over anything that we definitely need to skip over. I want to thank United Supermarkets in Market Street for handling all the communications, whether you're on Twitter, X, YouTube, or Facebook Live. United Supermarkets, great supporters of Texas Tech. You know, there's a grocery store in town that they'll take your money, and then they'll send it right down south where they keep that place weird. And it's not all right. It ain't cool. I'm just saying you can remember that when you make your choices. And there's one that takes care of Texas Tech, has for decades. Get your score predictions in. I give you Colorado 34-27. We'll see if Texas Tech is good enough to frustrate Colorado. And they can be frustrated. This game to me is a basketball game of two tempos. And Colorado wants to play it a little faster, in my opinion. And Texas Tech, while they can play fast against certain opponents, I just don't know that this is the opponent you want to try that against. So it becomes a basketball game where you've got one team trying to slow it down, and the team that wants to run and dunk and run around crazy, they get frustrated, they get angry, they hurry in a negative way. I've almost always seen it where the team that can slow it down frustrates the team that wants to run more than the team that wants to run can dictate the other way. Another one off Facebook. Remember, we can't see your name today for whatever reason. Probably the fact that we got 3 feet of snow here and everything. I'm just glad we got some Wi-Fi connection that seems to be working tonight. Tech 31-30, another 1-point game down to the wire. It is Joey Vimber, 7-2 November mark. And all he does is win one-score games. And if they do win, I think it's a one-score game. Of course, CU win in 34-27 one-score game too. Maybe we should make that 35-27 so it doesn't hurt his one-score game record. So you got fried chicken. They got chicken fried. No, chicken fried steak was last night. Got the catfish tonight. Alan would love for Zach Kelly to run some wing tea and Houston beer to slow it down. You don't have enough running backs right now to run the beer or even really the wing tea, and then you get your quarterback killed. So that would be incredibly dangerous. Now, you could go Wildcat on the wing tea, right? Bring Conyers in. I mean, I could run wing tea with Conyers all day long. Conyers, by the way, playing Colorado for the 4th time in his career, now as a Texas Tech Red Raider. So congratulations to him. And I still think Texas Tech and Colorado could have a nice little rivalry if they play enough in the Big 12. And it doesn't have to be Coach Prime hanging around, although we thank him because without Coach Prime, Colorado's not good. Colorado's not good, no Coach Prime. He ain't going to have that Fox pregame show in town. So hopefully they're making the most of it back home. I'm going to have to call down to the old Chamber of Commerce when I get back in town and see if there's anybody that's got any idea of what an economic impact would be, of a program on Fox Sports for, what is it, a 2-hour show that's mentioning Lubbock. The organic earned, visits you get off of that. Interesting. A Wink off of Twitter, 3 tight end, 1 Taj. There you go. Use the freshman. Yeah, I like the freshman. He's shown us a lot early on. So, yeah, wing T, he just couldn't run with Morton. Morton lasted about maybe a quarter, maybe a series in the wing T. Not saying he's fragile, not saying he's injury prone. He's injury prone and kind of fragile. But definitely would not run the wing T with him. I don't even like it when they run RPOs and different things with him, Craig off of YouTube, pardon me, that's Facebook, going to Coronado from the mid-'80s to the mid-'90s running the wing T. Butch Henderson arrived in 1988, installed the wing T, and ran it until about 2002, 2003 maybe, and then he went to a spread passing game that was not him, and he was not long for Coronado after that. He gave into the pressure. He gave into a lot of, pressure from parents and otherwise. You're not doing the cool stuff. He'd won. So, yeah, it was I formation until 1980, fall of 88. He was hired at Coronado my senior year after Craig Wallace was unceremoniously reassigned one January day. But, yeah, the wing T would have been interesting to play in it. I would have been ill-suited to play in it. I can't run good enough. But then again, according to my coaches, I was ill-suited to play in the Power I. So I guess it would have evened out. Wing T, you can absolutely win in college football with the wing T. You can win with the wishbone. You can win with the veer. You just have to commit to it, and you have to live with the fact that you're not going to get the high 3, 4, 5-star recruits because they're not going to go somewhere. Let's say in the wishbone, you don't have a featured running back. So no 5-star running back's going to go there. The offensive lineman, you're not going to get the highly rated offensive lineman because they don't get to pass block enough. And if you don't pass block in college, you don't get to the NFL, so you're not going to get those. And then your fans are going to get mad because your recruiting classes are going to be lowly rated. So you're going to have to go play with lowly rated recruiting classes and then go win differently. And what some people now, because they've grown up on Xbox and PlayStation, that if you don't score 55 points a game, it's boring. But could you win with it? Absolutely. Wendy on Facebook, most Texan thing I've done this week is come to Wisconsin and complain about their bland Mexican food. We've got this great place down the street. It's called Taco Bell. It's really good. You're going to love it. It's our favorite place. We go there all the time. You got cheese curd tacos. Alan Butch ran the wing T until 01. I was there and decided the air raid wasn't for me. After my first route, I got nailed on. I thought he held out a little longer than that. I thought he lasted until about 03 or so running the wing T. Wing T is fraud against fans and plays watching paint dry to win 9 games. Nah, I would pay money to win 9 games running the wing T. Wing T's exciting. Oh, it's an exciting offense. Wishbone's exciting. Veer's exciting. Yeah, see, it's a Mexican food restaurant just down the road. It's they got this cool bell out front. Oh, we'll take you next time you're in town here in Wisconsin. We love it. Brady Quinn is in town. In Borger? What's he doing in Borger? It's crazy. Well, the roads have been kind of dicey with the weather. I guess I could see where that could happen. Maybe. About 2 more minutes left tonight here at Bull of the Woods. We want to thank them for hosting us for the daily broadcast this week. Also, our great friends, Billy Hurst and his staff at Lifts West Hotel and Condominium for putting up with us a few extra days. We can't thank them enough, and just always fun to be here. And we'll be back fairly soon. We got to go home and do laundry, meet the animals again, get this basketball season started, see what happens from there. You guys also been tremendous all week hanging out with us. It's a lot of fun. We appreciate it when you guys jump on the show. The commentaries had great numbers this week. We appreciate it when you put that on Facebook, Twitter, and everything else. I ain't gonna lie. it highly unlikely we do a Raiderland Rewind tomorrow night. I don't know when we're going to get back, one, and two, not going to get to watch the game. There's just we will be on the road traveling during that time frame. So hopefully I'll be able to watch it on the replay when we get in and have some thoughts. Maybe Sunday night, do something with you guys and clean up the weekend. But you guys are going to be on your own. Keep me posted now. We'll be traveling, so we still have, Twitter and everything else. So guys like Alan and Jacob there and everybody else, hey, fire away at me on Twitter. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you're thinking, and you guys can kind of be my reporters and our eyes and ears for Texas Tech and Colorado coming up tomorrow afternoon at Jones Stadium. Jacob, my Beer high school quarterback, broke all of Kubiak's passing records in the 80s thanks to the stay at Lips West Red River. That's factual. I believe that. I believe that 100%. A good Beer quarterback passing night would have been 8 for 11 for about 100 yards and 3 touchdowns, because the play action fake off the Beer, lethal. You were always throwing against man coverage. You were going against a 6-man front usually, wide split six, wide tackle 6, 2 backers in the middle, single safety, 2 cornerbacks. All you had to do is get your split end released, and he runs by the cornerback. Cornerback's still thinking he's got a force. If you can put it on it, you can get a big play. That's what the Nebraska quarterbacks did for 100 years, or Tom Osborne. 12 attempts, 230 yards. The tight end would have 5 catches for 110 yards. Tell me that's boring. Tell me that's boring. No, it's not boring. All right, we're going to wrap her up tonight. We appreciate everybody being out there. We'll post this on the site later on this evening, theraiderland.com, and we look forward to visiting with everybody when we get back to Raiderland and outside the confines of the Hubbaplex. You guys be good. We'll see you soon. Thanks again, Lips West, and, of course, Bull of the Woods. theraiderland.com.